Armstrong Redwoods State Natural Reserve. Starting out on the Pioneer Nature Trail, the ranger station is 0.75 miles, the Armstrong Tree is 0.5 miles. We'll have to keep our eyes out for rattlesnakes. The redwood trees can get up to 310 feet tall, 94 meters. Here's a fountain dedicated to Marcus Flower from 1934. And here's the beginning of our half-mile hike to Armstrong Redwoods. It's amazing how tall these trees really are. The camera doesn't do it justice, but they're just massive. And you can see some scarring from prior fire damage. You are crossing the road that you actually drive into. And continuing on the trail, here's another massive tree here. This sign talks about the fire ecology. Most of the mature trees in this reserve show evidence of being burned, but it's unclear when these trees last experienced a fire. Some of these trees have these massive cavities at the bottom. It's amazing that they can still stand up. You can see the smoke coming out the side of this tree here, but it's actually not the tree itself, but it's most likely from a distant wildfire. Here's a close-up of some charred remains of the actual tree stump there, a little further out from there. Had a really neat look to it. This sign talks about the redwood burl high in the trees, explaining about the whole ecosystem with it. So at the base of the redwoods is sword fern. It's very common to the redwood forest and actually has been part of the ecosystem for over millions of years. Here's a look at the sword fern there. And then the redwoods are towering over the sword fern. So continuing on the hike here over to Armstrong Redwood Tree. With the environment and the tall trees, the temperature was probably 15 degrees colder in here while we were doing the hike than it was outside of the park. Now we're at the icicle tree, and the bark actually gives like a formation of icicles there, the way that it hangs onto the tree. Here's a good example of how some of these trees grow so close together. Even though they're so tall, they're like really a couple feet apart. Here's a better view of the bark from the icicle tree from the other side. I'm up on a bridge here. It's kind of dry below right now. This time of year, the actual creek bed was actually dry. Continuing on the walk there's where we're going next. And just another look at the tall redwoods. The Armstrong redwoods have burls and fairy rings at their base, which create a gnarled, knitted, and convoluted appearance. Continuing on the hike, you can see where a tree actually fell, and they actually just cut right through the path there. Or you can see how wide the actual trunk of this tree is. Massive tree that has fallen down. The further we went into the hike, you can see definitely more moss growing on the actual trunks. Just continuing on Armstrong Trail here. See a few people in front of us heading to the Armstrong Tree. Some moss growing there. Kind of cool. Here's the Armstrong Tree. The woods are named after. Here's Colonel Armstrong. Height 308 feet. Diameter 14.6 and approximately 1,400 years old. Pioneers of Preservation, James Armstrong and Lily. Here's from the Armstrong Tree and all around it here. Heading on the Discovery Trail, 0.2 miles. Trail width 5 feet. Slope is 3%. Cross slope is 3%. Actually, it looks pretty level to me. Here's information on the hazelnut. I believe it's right here. All the big trees behind it. And there's a protrusion there out of the side. Decoding tree rings. See the rings there? Continuing on down the path here. There's the big leaf maple. Kind of see it lit up there with the sun behind it. There's two splitting. Here's information on the coast redwood. And it's actually right over here. The coastal redwood has very unique bark, which you can see here. There's the coastal redwood. Here's a detail of the bark. Hopefully you can see the spider webs there. This almost looks like a wave there, the way that the actual lines of the tree are. Looking off to the side. The redwoods will grow either from a seed or sprouts. They'll start producing seeds between 5 and 15 years old. Continuing on the trail here. So far we did 1 mile. This talks about some of the mushrooms you might see at Armstrong Redwoods. I didn't really see any myself, but probably different times of the year they're there. All connected. Crossing a little bridge here. Again, the bed's dry. This formation, this stump here was just amazing. Looks like it was shooting out from the center there. Heading towards the exit. Pioneer Nature Trail still. While hiking, just looking off to the side here to get a different perspective of the mass amount of trees that are actually in here. Here they mark some of the dates from the rings on the trees so you can see how old this tree really was. We got 1579, 1776. Here's a sunlit redwood that I wanted to capture. Here's a Parson Jones. That's pretty cool. Old root system there. And the stump right here in front. That looks pretty cool too.
Hi there.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks. Ending the Pioneer Trail. Did 1.37 miles. The base of this redwood looked really interesting, so I wanted to put that in the video as well. Here's the entrance to the facility. And there's the road. Old redwoods there. They're like right up to your car. We're coming up on the exit of this park. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the like button.